If you're new to video campaigns in Google Ads, it may seem easy just to review all the conversion columns and then use those numbers to measure success for video campaigns. But video and search are completely different. Just because you may not be seeing conversions right away with video campaigns, it doesn't mean that your videos are unsuccessful. So in this video, I want to walk through the video metrics and columns I like to look at in Google Ads to really see if my campaigns are working. Some of them aren't as clear as you may think that they are. And hopefully this will give you a better understanding to measure success for videos. Okay, a couple things before we get started. First, this is our demo account. So yeah, we haven't done anything in a while. We only ran ads for a little bit when we were really starting this channel, trying to give it an initial boost. So you understand nothing is recent, but the metrics and columns will still apply. We'll talk through it as best as possible. Second, I'm not going to talk about every single metric that you can use to review your YouTube campaigns. In the intro, this is mostly going to be for people who are newer to video campaigns, so I want to start off with the columns that would be most important when you're running video campaigns for the first time. So I've already hand selected these columns. In your account, your view could be different. So as I'm talking through these columns, if you want to start adding them to your view, just head on up to the columns tab. When you click it, you can modify your columns, start searching for any of these, add them to your view, and save it for later. And for now, I'm just going to go left to right. And we're starting off with impressions. Now, initially, you're probably thinking of, okay, impressions are available for all campaigns. I know what an impression is. That's great. But for video campaigns, there's differences in how impressions work depending on what type of ad is playing. And if I jump ahead a little bit to view rate, within the past couple of years, Google has broken out view rate into in-stream, in-feed, and shorts. I kind of wish they did that for impressions, because impressions differ between these three categories as well. Impressions for in-stream ads count for when the video ad starts playing. Remember, in-stream ads appear before, during, or after an organic video view. So just having the ad be visible doesn't really apply here. The video has to start playing for it to count as a paid impression. Now for in-feed ad impressions that shows up in a user's feed or a recommended video, it's really just a thumbnail with potentially some headlines and descriptions. An in-feed ad just being visible counts as an impression, because the only way a user can actually watch a video that's part of an in-feed ad is if they click on it to watch it. So see the difference between in-stream and in-feed? One is the video actually is playing, the other is it's just visible on the screen. And a YouTube Shorts impression is more in line with the in-stream ad impression. The short ad starts playing when a user is scrolling in between organic short videos. So understand the difference. Let's look at views, because just like impressions and view rate, views are counted differently between each of the three different ad types. For in-stream ads, a view can count in three different ways. First, a view is counted if the user watches at least 30 seconds of the video. Another way is if they watch the entire video. These are going to be for ads shorter than 30 seconds. And the third way a view could count is if the viewer clicks on any of the interactive elements that are part of your ad. Maybe a shopping cart, your call to action. Maybe you've attached a lead form to your video ads. So if someone clicks on one of those elements, but still only watches like 5 seconds of your video, still counts as a view and you're still going to be charged. A view for an in-feed ad is if the user clicks on your video thumbnail to start watching your video ad. And for ads on YouTube Shorts, similar process as in-stream, but the time length is shorter. If the video is less than 10 seconds, they have to watch the whole thing. The second way is if they watch a video at least 10 seconds. And then the third way is if they click on the call to action button. Now, a difference with views is if you're running really short video ads, like bumper ads will count views in Google Ads, but if you actually go to the video watch page or go within your channel's YouTube analytics, those incremental views will not total. They understand that's a way to game the system to make your videos seem more popular than what they are, so they're not going to count in YouTube analytics. Now, one other important thing to remember is if a user clicks on the video to watch your ad, or an in-stream, it's played automatically, and you rack up a view that way, if they go on to click on the call to action button, it's not going to count twice. It's just going to count that one view. And also, you won't be charged twice. Next, let's go on to view rate. And I believe I said it before, but if you've been running video ads recently, these three columns are going to be much more filled out than what you're seeing in our account since we ran our campaigns many, many years ago, before they split it up into the three categories. But view rate is essentially the percentage of impressions that resulted in a view. It's taking your views divided by your impressions. I do like how they have it broken out, because depending on what your campaign objective is, you may or may not be able to turn off some of these placements. So let's say you're only running a campaign with maybe just a vertical video. It may work well in shorts, could possibly work well in stream, but maybe the vertical video is working poorly in in-feed. Gives you better understanding of, hey, maybe I should have better video content variety in different ad sizes within certain ad groups. Format does make an impact, and there's other scenarios where vice versa could apply. If you are interested in learning more about adding square and video sizes to your ad groups, I do have another video about it right here. Your creative is going to have a huge impact on performance. So these are columns I look at a lot for my clients. All right, let me move over a little bit, and then we can start looking at average CPV. That is your average cost per view. Now, if you're still creating a campaign without a goals guidance, you can set a maximum cost per view. It's still one of the available bid strategies. So you can go back in your campaign settings and then review what you're actually paying per view. So this formula is your cost divided by your views. I have cost as the column right to the right. We're going to skip cost. You know what that is. So maybe you already understand that conversions aren't the main part of your video campaign view. Just a random scenario. You're really looking more at reach, cost effectiveness, helping spread out the budget a little bit more while still building awareness or engagement. This would be a great metric to look at. I love to use CPV when I'm running video remarketing campaigns, especially for clients that run very expensive LinkedIn campaigns or search is very expensive. I tell my clients, look how much more affordable YouTube advertising is compared to retargeting on LinkedIn, compared to trying to get them back with search, even comparing it to just display retargeting. If we know it's the same audience, especially if it comes from a customer list, I prefer to re-engage with them in a much more interactive format. That's going to be a heck of a lot cheaper than most other channels. All right, skipping over costs. Next, we have video played to, and this is broken up into 4 columns. Pretty easy to figure out. It's the percentage of viewers who watched at least 25% of your video, 50% of your video, 75% of your video, or 100%. It's good to look at overall at the campaign level, possibly the ad group level. I'll give it that. I really like to look at these columns at the ad level. How long are people paying attention? Especially within an ad group, you're testing out different video lengths. I mean, think about it. If you're running a 15-second ad alongside a 30-second ad within the same ad group, the video play to numbers are going to be skewed. The shorter the video, the higher video play to numbers you're going to have. Also, it could be unfair to compare in-feed versus in-stream. With in-feed, people may be very engaged with long-form video content, especially if you're running it for awareness. We've worked with clients that like to promote old webinars in in-feed campaigns. We're talking about 15, 25-minute, 30-minute videos compared to a 15-second ad. Unfair comparison. So understand the goals of the campaign and the type of videos that you're running to really look at the value of how long a video is played to. You think of people only making it 25% is bad. Again, if 25% equals 15 minutes and I only paid a couple cents for it, that's extremely valuable. Very cheap brand awareness. Those are the type of things when we're running video campaigns we need to dive in deeper to really understand how long this engagement was. All right, next, we're going to look at the earned actions. I do have another video about earned actions. You can watch it right here. I'll briefly talk about them now, but the video I just showed you up above gives you a little bit extra information of what you can do with these 5 columns besides just looking at the numbers. Okay, we already talked about views and how you could be charged for the 3 different ad types. Well, let's say that user who's already watched your ad and you've already been charged for it goes on to watch other videos, like other videos in your channel, share your videos that are in your channel, subscribe to your channel, or add any of your videos to their playlist. You don't pay for any of those additional actions. And those additional actions are the earned actions. You see in certain columns, like subscribers, there could be a range. This is showing us a range. If it's below 100, they do it for privacy reasons. But we like to look at these numbers if our clients are more branding and conversion focused. Because, as I said in the intro, you may not see conversions right away from video campaigns. However, we look at these as like little mini conversions. Is someone going to give you thousands of dollars by seeing one video ad? No, but it gives us good signals that they're interested if they're watching other videos, subscribing to my YouTube channel. They want to interact more with my brand later on. Those are other signals that aren't direct conversions that are still showing us that our video campaigns are still working. These are columns that you can also view down to the ad level. Get a better understanding of what content is attracting users to want to learn and watch more. Then take it to your creative team, let them know which ads are working best, and try to get more like that, or try to get more to improve it to better your overall engagement and view numbers. There is one important thing that Google states about these earned actions. Now, for whichever YouTube channels that you have linked to your Google Ads account, if you've disabled personalized advertising in any of your YouTube channel settings, earned actions may not appear. So you have to make sure personalized advertising is enabled for your YouTube channel that is linked to your account. Okay, let me go back, scroll over again. Sorry that these two are separated, but I do want to talk about interactions and engagements because there is a slight difference. Engagement criteria will differ depending on the ad format. For in-stream ads, an engagement is a video view over 10 seconds, or if they watch the entire video or click on the ad in any way. For an in-feed ad, they watch 10 seconds of the video or just click on the thumbnail to watch it. For any non-skippable ad, whether it's a bumper, 15 seconds, whatever, the user must click on the ad because they're already forced to watch it. So any additional engagement has to be the click. And then YouTube Shorts, it's the same as in-stream, watching 10 seconds, the entire video, or clicking on the call to action. Interactions can bring reports from a variety of different campaign types into one column. So in certain cases, you can compare the value of a video view compared to a click on search, or a view versus display. Now my numbers are off because the columns changed from when we were actually running the videos. I, for the most part, really look at engagements, but it's all going to be depending on what campaigns you're currently running when comparing different ad types and what the goals of those campaigns are. Now this one over here is going to be unique because this column is if you are running ad sequencing. If you don't know what ad sequencing is, here's a video we made about it on your screen up above. But ad sequencing lets you show certain videos in a specific order to a particular audience. And in ad sequencing, Google takes into consideration any medium of where the user has seen the video. And keep in mind, video sequencing isn't purely just ads. Google will take organic impressions as part of the video journey you want to have the users to watch. It's not strictly just an ad thing. So, because viewers can go through your video journey, regardless of whether it's through one of your campaigns or not, this column will show how overall impressions, even outside of your video campaigns, helped your sequencing campaign. If that's confusing in any way, odds are you haven't run a sequencing campaign yet, so go watch the video I referred to get a better understanding if you want to run this type of campaign. Now, besides these columns, another section where I like to look at a few metrics is going to be your actual videos section underneath your assets. Note this is not just a video campaign feature, since you can run video assets in display and performance mix and now demand gen, but I'm still going to stick on just video campaigns. So here's where you can look at all the YouTube videos that you're using within your ads. If you click on the title of your videos that you're using, they'll send you to the video analytics for the particular campaign. Now understand, when Michelle and I were running videos all time, we were running purely in-feed ads, purposely pushing longer form content. However, here's another way to look at how long users are watching, possibly compare it to organic views, and in certain cases get better information on where users are dropping off. Let me pull up a different example. Here is one for a client. This is just one video variation, purely for ads, so you see that there's no organic views. This was an unlisted video because we had so many different varieties that we were testing. Now, since this was an in-stream ad, we get a better understanding of where the user drops off pretty much at that 5-second skip mark, and then really see how much we see the drop off until the end. Now we can compare it with all the other assets in the campaign to see which one was performing better. Notice I can click on segment and review information at a few different levels, and then I can also review the same information on ad type. But I can click on certain elements within this chart to understand where the key drop-off moments are. Let me go back to this one. This is the second main dip that we see after the users can skip. By this point, you may want to review your creative to see, did you get your main call to action in the ad before users can skip? Is there any other information that is really important to the users that majority of them aren't going to see because they skipped it, they dropped out? If that's the case, you may want to look at updating the scripts for your video ads and making sure the most valuable information is all on this part up here. And I know I have this blurred out, but as you click on different elements in this chart, Google will jump to that area in the video so you can actually watch the rest of it from that point to see if you're missing anything from the creative side. As I said right in the very beginning of the demo, I know there's a lot of other metrics that we could look at. I'd even talk about conversions or even the view through conversions. I didn't talk about clicks or click-through rate. Depending on your objective, that could be very important if you're looking to drive more traffic. But hopefully you've found a few columns that you haven't used yet to give you a better understanding on if your video campaigns are successful. If you have any questions on the columns or metrics that were discussed in this video, or you want to share other metrics that you love to look at for your campaigns, please share it in the comments below.
Thanks for watching our video. We really appreciate it. If you liked it, give us a thumbs up below. If you really liked it, maybe think about subscribing to the Paid Media Pros YouTube channel and you'll get alerted every time a new video drops.
If you really liked it, you can help support the channel by checking out some of the t-shirts that we're wearing on our merch shelf, as well as looking at the Super Thanks button.